All right, y'all. Well, this man right here, he's saying we cooked. Gen Z is cooked. How cooked are we? I don't know. We finna find out.
I need to tell you something that's been eating at me for months now, and I think a lot of you guys are going to relate to this. I'm 24 years old. I make 125,000 as a software engineer in
Damn, nigga, 125, bro.
New York
Fuck.
City. And before you click away thinking this is some humble brag from a privileged tech bro, just hear me out for a second because what I'm about to share is going to make you realize how broken things actually are. I worked minimum wage and retail jobs for 10 years to pay my way through community college and university.
Same, same. Same, same.
I graduated with zero debt, zero student loans. I did everything right. Studied computer science, learned to code, got the good job everyone talks about. On paper, I won. I'm living the dream that guidance counselors sell to high school students. But here's what nobody tells you about that dream. My take home pay after taxes is $79,000 per year. And my girlfriend, she graduated into one of the worst job markets for new graduates in decades. Tech layoffs.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. What he says, 80K, bro. 80K ain't bad, bro, after taxes, bro. Uncle Sam be fucking motherfuckers, bro. You know, if you know, you know, bro. Cause New York City, you can make like him, right, bro, 125, and now he got taxed like, well, I'm pretty sure he got taxed like 20%. So now he only bring it home 79, bro. That shit is crazy, bro. But I digress.
They're everywhere. Hiring freezes, company replacing entry level positions with AI, or the offshoring of entry level jobs. She's been grinding out hundreds of applications, rewriting her resume over and over, working minimum wage jobs while she waits for something, literally anything, in her field to open up. So I'm kind of supporting both of us on that $79,000 in one of the most expensive
Yo, good luck, my dude. On 100. Wait, what you said? Let's play that back
working
real quick.
minimum wage jobs while she waits for something, literally anything, in her field to open up. So I'm kind of supporting both of us on that $79,000.
Bro, this man, I don't even know if he lives in New York City, but he getting that New York City tax, bro. I'm assuming he probably lives somewhere like in Jersey, maybe Long Island. If you living in the city, bro, making that much, yikes. Like you could really be making a shit ton of money and Uncle Sam come through with the 79,000 for you, nigga.
One of the most expensive cities in America. We live with two other roommates just to make the math even work.
That makes sense. You need to live with a roommate in New York City. Like, there's no way, bro. Bro, this shit hurts, bro, because this is a real thing, bro. And like, he can probably find some. Like, you can't even get Section 8 housing, bro, with how much this motherfucker make. But yo, he need to find like he doing it right. Keep on doing your thing, bro.
Think about that for a second. Someone in my position doing everything society told me to do, making what most people would consider really good money, is barely just staying ahead. We're sharing a place with roommates. We're not going on fancy vacations. We're not buying new cars or thinking about buying property even. We're
No, the fuck you not. You ain't doing none of that shit. You going to work and staying your ass in the crib.
just surviving. Comfortably, sure,
Yeah, he just said it. Just surviving.
but surviving is nonetheless the word for it. If someone in my position is barely keeping ahead, then the traditional American path isn't just hard anymore, it's fundamentally broken for most people my age. But here's what I realized over the years, and this is why I'm making this video. We don't have to keep playing that game that rigged us. We can change the game entirely, and Gen Z might be the first generation positioned to actually do it. Now I know what you're thinking. Another video saying work harder or start a side hustle or whatever, but that's not what I'm talking about. This is looking at the actual numbers, understanding what we're actually facing, and making strategic decisions based on reality instead of the stories we've been told about how life is supposed to work. So let me just walk you through what's actually happening to our generation, and then I'll show you the alternative path that I'm personally taking. Here are just the plain numbers and a real plan. And it's
Bro, fuck what he about to say. Just get into tech.
kind of why the job market isn't just being tough right now, it's actually systematically broken. Let's start with my girlfriend's experience because her story is way more common than mine right now. She did everything right, got the degree, built the resume, developed the skills, but she graduated right as companies started massive layoffs, right as hiring freezes hit, right as
Ooh, cooked, bro. But nah, bro. She fuck. What? I don't even know what's a good piece of advice, bro. Cause she got the degree. She obviously she got good brains. So what is the advice here, bro? And she's young, so she has the time. She just gotta keep applying for these jobs, bro. At this point, just keep applying for jobs and just thug it out, man. Cause right now it's like probably the worst time to find anything right now. Luckily, her path, she kind of has a shortcut essentially with the fact that she has a degree, which separates her from other candidates that don't have degrees. And I'm pretty sure the numbers are a lot. So let's see.
AI started eating at entry-level positions that used to be stepping stones into mid-level careers. Hundreds of applications sent out, constant resume tweaking, rejection after rejection.
I know the life, bro. Yeah, that shit sucks. It's abysmal.
Or even worse, just silence. She's working jobs she's well overqualified for, just to pay the bills while she keeps applying.
Hey, bro, ain't nothing wrong with no humble McDonald's job, bro. Like, that's a really humble job, bro. As much as people want to shit on fucking fast food employees, bro, like, they could be doing a bunch of other shit and contributing to a really negative society. So shout out to her for, she's getting underpaid right now as she's overqualified, but you got to make it through, bro. It's rough times for everybody.
Hoping and keeps grinding. And here's the thing that keeps me angry. This isn't her fault. This isn't a personal failing. This is what happens when an entire generation graduates into a fundamentally changed economy. And there's actual research on this. Graduating into a weak job market creates what economists call a wage penalty that can last to 10 to 15 years. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in lifetime earnings just lost just because you happen to graduate in 2025 instead of 2018 or 2019 or even 2020. You're not starting from the same place as people who just a few years before you started from. You're starting well behind them. And that gap actually never fully closes in your lifetime. See, even the National Bureau of Economic Research covers this.
Bro, they saying you cooked, bro. It's just like, what do you do, bro? Like, what is the option?
The long-term effects of graduating in a recession or recession-like environment has earning losses that eventually do fade, but it takes 8 to 10 years to even just catch up.
Hold up, he brought these numbers up real quick. He brought these numbers up fast as hell. All right, so let's dig into this. All right, effective graduating in recession on annual earnings by major of study, graduates only. So all majors. So we see this little trend here. So we start at log annual earnings and then potential experience. All right, cool. Based off of this graph, you're pretty cooked. If you graduate with anything that's arts and humanities, social sciences, all other majors that's not listed here. See, what is this in purple? Engineering and computer science. Bro, that's crazy. Wow. Wow. I mean, it's going up for them, but god damn, like, that is a hell of a field, especially right now. Physical sciences, surprising. Okay. I still stick to stay in the STEM field, engineering and computer science. Like, that is top tier. And based on this graph, apparently, so is, what is this one again? Physical sciences.
10 years to even just catch up earning-wise with peers that graduated a little bit before you. And again, that gap is still there your entire life. That gap never actually fully closes. See, my girlfriend is living proof of this. She's smart, she's capable, she's willing to work hard, but just because of timing, she's paying for it. And she's not alone. This is the norm for Gen Z graduates right now. Now, I'm not going to be doom and gloom because there is some good things that came out of this. It's forcing us to develop skills that traditional stable employment never actually teaches. It teaches you income diversification, adaptability, self-reliance, learning to create value outside of
AKA how to save and manage your fucking money. Because this shit is, whew. He did say something else. He was talking about the skills portion. I really agree with what he's saying, but yeah, definitely how to save your money because you can't be going out all the time. You just can't.
Now, I'm not going to be doom and gloom because there is some good things that came out.
And then it's also teaching freaking delayed gratification, which is a pretty big one. Anyways, we already covered this, so I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
What it really intends, and I'm not saying it's actually good. I'm saying we can still extract value from a bad situation. And let's talk about college for a second, because this is where the broken system really becomes obvious. College tuition has increased 180% since the early.
All right, let's take a look at this graph. Oh, we love graphs over here. Average tuition and fees for undergraduates, 1963 to 2022. All schools, 4-year. Oh, they didn't even. Okay, cool. So for all schools. So in 1970, right at or under 5,000 for tuition. And there's a little dip right here. And then it goes to about the same kind of plateaus right here. We were drawing a little line So we're under 5,000. So it was cheap in 1980, bro. Best time to go to school. And on top of that, too, in 1980, we didn't have this fucking crazy ass inflation. So I know your money just went far for no fucking reason. And then we can see right here in 1990, from 1980 to 1990. So in that 10-year period, it goes up a shit ton. Right under 75, so I would say maybe 7,300 right there, and it just keeps going up. With us almost hitting 15,000, we're probably at or over 15K for tuition and fees right here, at least on average. Let's see what this. He got another graph here. Overall, just as average salaries, 5-year increments. Ooh, god damn. Yeah, so for you boomers out there, 1960, what, 47K? I know that 47K now probably valued now is probably like 80, 70K, bro. So y'all was chilling, especially 1960, bro. That shit was probably like 200K, bro. For real, for real. Let's see. Let's go to the middle of this. So 1985, that was still a lot of money. That's like maybe $30,000 or $20,000 more today in comparison to 1985. Just adjusted for inflation, obviously. So that's still a lot of money. And I would probably say until like maybe 2005 was probably when money just started crumbling here. Because then we had I think it was in '08 we had the crash. So I don't know if I would really go based off this graph too well, just because of the inflation at the time is definitely different.
Completely flat adjusted for inflation. And you may be like, oh, I
Oh, it was adjusted for inflation.
then
There
when
you
you
go.
adjust for inflation. So yes, when you adjust for inflation, it's actually a grand total of nothing. It has been completely flat adjusted for inflation. And you may be like, oh, I was earning this amount of money back then, and now I'm earning this. That is because you were looking at the nominal change and not the real change in salaries. In addition, you also have to remember you probably bought a house in that time, meaning your cost of living has actually barely increased compared to somebody just graduating, just trying to buy a house. Let that sink in.
Yes.
Education costs way more and basically gets you the same earning power as it did 25 years ago with more student loan debt. Actually, on average, it's about $37,000. And it's not uncommon to see people owing over $100,000 or more in student loans. So yeah, you're paying for the same degree that gets you the same job, except now you're starting tens of
Yo, hold up. I ain't expect to. I'm like not really paying attention to the gameplay because I know it's just fucking white
and it's
noise,
not
but
uncommon to see
I did
people
not
owing
expect some
over
motherfucker to be in there, bro.
$100,000 or more in student loans. So yeah, you're paying for the same degree that gets you the same job, except
Like, what are you doing, bro? Why you just got people in that crib, bro?
more in
Anyways,
student loans. So yeah, you're paying for the same degree that gets you the same job, except now you're starting tens of thousands of dollars in debt before even earning your first paycheck, and your first paycheck is actually less than what it would have been 25 years ago
the fuck is this
in
gameplay?
terms of inflation. That is objectively the worst and most terrible ROI I've ever heard of. Like,
It's a scam.
if this was any other investment, everyone would recognize it and be like, that's a scam. Now, there are ways to avoid this trap. You can go to community college, work through school, but most people my age get sold a different story. They go to a good school, get a degree, just a degree because it's the same, and say the job will come. You'll eventually pay that debt off, but except eventually now means a decade or more of payments, and the jobs now aren't even there. And even when they are there, the salaries haven't kept up with the pace of that debt. This is forcing Gen Z to think more critically about education ROI. More people are questioning whether a $200,000 degree or even a $100,000 degree even makes sense anymore, when it leads to the same job, or the same pay at least, as a trade school certification.
Bro, answer simple. Y'all probably not gonna like this, but join the military. Send your son to Dagestan 4 years. Forget one phone call, and that's it. Yeah, bro. Like, just join the military, bro. Ain't nothing bad, bro. I remember seeing a post that said some shit like, and it just said, I'd rather sell crack before joining the military. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I came pretty close to doing just that. And then I was like, yeah, let me just join the military. And I just fucking joined the military. And I'm chilling, bro. It's not a bad deal. I mean, especially for now. That's definitely dependent on what y'all want to do. Because I know that's not a option for everybody, especially if you're not able-bodied, and it definitely takes a toll on you. It's not something that anybody could just do, but I feel like if you're disciplined enough and you want to kind of create a stepping stone, so to speak, that's what I had when I first joined, and that mentality. I just wanted to create a stepping stone for myself, something to kind of just launch myself off of, because it was getting rough. I was in the same predicament as his girl actually during COVID. So around the time I joined the military, if it wasn't for the military, like I wouldn't have the life I have right now. Not an option for I know everybody, but if you have that option, I definitely recommend it, because especially with like parents, and you know, you might not even be able-bodied to even do this. So I ain't sponsored, by the way. It's just my own opinion.
The system is broken, but we're learning to see the alternatives. And that skill, being able to question the system and find alternative paths, that is going to serve us really well. But it doesn't just stop there, because here's something I fully didn't understand until more recently. The American healthcare system isn't designed to keep you healthy, it's designed to keep you employed, actually. The average annual health insurance premium through an employer is now $8,435 for just single coverage. And if you want to cover your family, it's now around $24,000.
Oh yeah, that shit is expensive. That shit is 100% expensive. Um, Again, join the military. You get that free healthcare. But anyways, I'm done. I'm done chatting shit. Peace.